To work the long tail cast on, you're going to hold your knitting needle in your right hand. And the first thing I like to do is figure out about how much yarn it's going to take to work the cast on. So to do that, I will drape the yarn over the needle, and I'm just going to wrap it around however many number of stitches the cast on is. So in this case, let's say I'm going to cast on 10 stitches. I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to hold my finger right there. I'm going to pull all the yarn off. And that spot where I'm holding the yarn is what I'm going to place on top of the needle, give or take. It doesn't have to be perfect. When you place it over the needle, you want the tail to the back of the needle, and you want the working yarn, or what's attached to the yarn ball itself, to the front. We're going to take the 2 strands into our left hand with these, and I like to take the 2 bottom fingers and hold them together so that I can kind of keep tension on them. They will always stay holding this yarn. It might take practice in the beginning to learn how to hold that tension, but again, the key word here is practice. Now, to get set up for our cast on, we're looped over the needle here, and we are going to take our 3rd finger, come in between the 2 strands, and come out with the top one. We're going to take our thumb, come into the 2 strands, and come out and around. So what I've done is created 2 little bunny ears, okay? So we are going to come up into, with our right hand needle, we're going to bring it up into the thumb loop right here, come all the way over and grab the inside strand. So you're going to come into the loop, grab that first strand, and it's going to come right back through the loop of the thumb ear that we were holding on to. And you're going to slowly draw it forward, just like this. So that we don't want to squeeze it too tight, so keep it rather loose because we want a loose cast on. Now when I pull it snug, putting my hands back into position helps pull it snug, so I don't have to sit there and do this with each stitch. But again, that takes practice, so it's okay to do this with each stitch. Just don't pull too hard. So, holding on to those bottom stitches, I'm going to show you the rest of I've cast on 2 stitches. I'm going to show you the rest of the 8 stitches left to cast on for my 10. So I'm going to come up with the finger and out, down and back up, so around and up with the thumb. So we have our 2 bunny ears. Come up from behind, up into the thumb loop, down into the finger loop, grab that strand, pull it right back through the thumb loop. And as I put my fingers back into their positions, that tightens the stitch on the needle. So I'm going to move through the rest of these stitches really slowly so that you can see. There we have the 10 stitches that I cast on. Now, something to remember about the long tail cast on is that this particular cast on counts as the first row of your knitting. If you were to do a different type of cast on, such as the knitted cast on or the backwards loop method, those would not count as a row, but the long tail cast on counts as your first row of knitting. And here we have on the end here, we still have our working yarn, which is attached to the yarn ball, and then we have our tail that we will weave in later. And then the next step is to turn your needle and hold it in your left hand we're going to take our right hand needle and we're going to get ready to work our first set of stitches.